Dirk first, okay, followed by Karen.
I know this is a bit dry and stale, so I decided to try to liven it up with a little poetry.
Oh,
So here's a poem that I call Out of Office. For now I am an absentee, but only temporarily. When I get back, your note I'll read and correspond with grace and speed. For inquiries that cannot wait till after my return date, please contact the address below to find out what you need to know. I bid thee well while I'm away, and hope you have a pleasant day. And I'd just like to follow it up with a poem about coming back to work. This haiku I wrote back in 2022 after having been forced to work from home due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This poem is called Re-Entry. I've been gone 2 years, but this place feels familiar. Do I still work here?
I know what you're wrong.
With an E. It's a private joke from Tooley, Indiana. My name is Karen Klein from North Andover. And I was getting ready to come, and around 4:30 there was a gentleman up in my attic doing work, and all of a sudden, bang! It didn't sound good. He had put his foot on the plywood that failed, and his foot went all the way down through the ceiling. So there was plywood and plaster and a lot of insulation.
Could you look up and see his foot?
Oh, it's a hole.
Yeah.
There's a hole in my ceiling, yes. But he got it patched enough so that the heat's not going out. That's what we were all worried about. So that's fine, and I only have 2 quickies here. I'll explain this one after I read it. You'll maybe like this one with the word I'm going to be saying here. On this late fall morning, the river feels the tide's enduring push and pull that ruffles the surface on its way to the ocean. A solitary red dory rises and falls, as if anticipating one more adventure to come. Even the clouds billow up and over in a race to explore what's beyond the next bend. Edged by a woodland of painted leaves, this moment glistens with promise, with life.
Oh, yeah.
Here, then, the new day calls to us, inviting us to celebrate our small moments, to honor our enduring bonds, to find joy around every bend. I love that. It's not mine. Oh no, it's not mine. No, I've got to tell you, it came today in the mail as a greeting card from Amika.
Yeah.
They do this every year. They say Happy Thanksgiving, and this is just a beautiful, and the dory's beautiful too, and so is the painting on the front. A dory, you want to explain what they are?
No, you are.
Okay, they're a small little boat from the Lowell Boathouse in Amesbury. So when I heard she was coming, I thought, I have to read this. I really have to read this. It's written by Julia Maylor Simpson of Groton, Connecticut. We've never met. I hope I could sometime, but I couldn't resist doing it with this beautiful poem on special night for somebody from Amesbury.
Thank you.
The other one, it's a new group. I've got new faces here. They're not going to know what I'm going to say. You do, and Tom does, and maybe Erin remembers. To my dear children, this book I leave when I am dead, that here you may find what was your living mother's mind. Make use of what I leave in love, and God shall bless you from above. That's my favorite poem. Talk about short.
Yep.
It fits everywhere. I use it to teach children because in the fourth line, make use of what I leave it, no, I'm sorry. And God, no, never mind. But it has a word missing. And the word missing is the most important part. It is what was your living mother's mind, not what was in your living mother's mind. Totally different meaning. Poets understand that. So if you want to really understand Anne Bradstreet, who is the first published English language female poet from the New World, and she was in North Andover, just look at annebradstreet.org, but really study the whole website. It's very long. And the left-hand margin has some very interesting things about what the website is about and how her life went. So please check that out and study it. Thank you so much.
Karen, could you mention how she's going to be recognized next year? Yeah.
Oh, you mean the July?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I forgot about that. Thank you. I'm tired.
That's
I'm
okay.
really tired.
No, that's all right.
That's why I only got 2 poems. But they're very short, and I like short poems. I love short poems. I really do. The 11th of July is a Saturday, and please keep it in your mind for future reference, in North Andover on the Common. And on the 10th of July, 1666, I don't think anybody was there. But what happened was Anne Bradstreet's home burned to the ground. And everybody got out, but she lost all of her poetry, and she was the most prolific writer of poetry in the 17th century in America. That's with the fire. Where did she put it? I can't figure that out. Maybe they didn't write a lot in the 17th century. I don't think there was a box to store stuff in. So everything was lost. But the next day she wrote this amazing poem, Upon the Burning of Our House, July 10th, 1666. And it had to do with gratitude. She's walking by all these cinders and just nothing but a hole in the ground. And she's writing about gratitude. So I have to have a party. So we're going to have Anne Bradstreet's Day of Gratitude on the 11th of July. And I have no idea yet what it's going to be.
That's a Saturday, right?
It's a Saturday, yes. And I'm trying to reach, well, I've got one of Kate from the book, The Purple Couch. Kate, I think Kiesling is the name, I think the last name. She's going to come. And then I hope I have Dave McGilvery, who is the Boston Marathon guy. He set up the Boston Marathon and made, kept it going all of these years. And he certainly did a great job after the bombing. Everything kept going the next year. Nothing was lost, except people were lost. Horrible, horrible, horrible things happened. But he just didn't let it stop anybody. So he's in North Andover. He's another neighbor, and hopefully he will come. And he said, Karen, what am I going to do with the poetry people? And I said, Dave, good habits equal good life. So if you can show people a totally different way to keep yourself active and healthy, then that goes right along with poetry. You're gratified. You have gratitude again for a good life and good health. So, and there will be other things, other people coming, hopefully. Maybe Reggie Gibson. Maybe Diane could work on that. Bob Wylie. Bob is really good with Reggie. He had a wonderful program on November 1st at Gloucester. It was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Casey, your next week?
I struggle to condense my poems, so thank you and thanks for listening. I wrote this and I sort of offered up for National Adoptee Awareness Month, which is this month. This month. I got a message on Facebook from my birth father the other day. Well, a few. More of a missive than a DM. Thick enough it'd take at least 2 stamps to mail from San Pedro to Boston. But you can't fit a lifetime of catching up in an envelope anyways. Hey Tiger Eyes, he started, before giving me the first piece of advice he ever gave me. I got advice. Don't do drugs, but if you do, don't tell anybody. Don't ever tell anybody anything, I thought to myself, picturing my father as an aging Holden Caulfield. If you do, you start missing everybody. Well, I already missed everybody, so what's the harm in telling? The truth is, nobody's listening anyways. He wasn't thinking about bodies catching bodies, though. He had love on his mind. Maybe it's the same thing at the end of the day. I went to cash the check, he told me, and I went on a journey instead. That shows that love ain't real, it's just a word. He was clearly feeling sentimental because the conversation then turned to my mother. To me, she's always been evil, he reminisced. I can only say that when I got with her, I did love her. And so you were made with love, genuine love. But she's the devil. But isn't love just a word? Only when it comes from the devil's mouth, I guess. Or an addict's. It's important that you know your history, he continued. I stayed with her for the last 2 weeks of her pregnancy, so you wouldn't have cocaine in your system, so you'd be born drug-free. She was a tough one to keep away from drugs. Tougher than he thought, I guess. He was deep in the memories now, out of his depth, even. It was sad, but it was probably good you didn't get raised by us, especially her. I'll tell you the truth, I'm no better. We both failed. We both lost our pot of gold. It was her who sold you, though. I had nothing to do with it. That dude forked over some money for you. When she got the money, I didn't see her again till it was gone. Naive as it may be, I believed him. I don't know why. Yes, I do. I needed to believe that shit. That at least one of those 2 people who made me, with love, allegedly, wasn't evil. I needed to believe that I could be good. That I had inherited more than just the devil. He seemed somehow to know what I needed. I thought about how you must see us, me and her, he went on. Shit. You saw both of us basically fighting to stay alive. I've been lost since that overdose, but it's no excuse. I don't mean to be a bad person. I just don't get along with people much. I can't fault him for that. You might be ashamed of me a little, because I've been a drug addict all my life. Hey, it wouldn't be fair to you to pretend to be something I'm not. I'm still recovering from that night, the one that brought you back into my life. Please don't hate me. I didn't. I'm never doing drugs again. You don't know how hard I've been trying to remember my password so I could talk to you. I can wait. I didn't want to do heroin. I'm drug-free now. Still mindless, but grateful. Me too.
I got a couple of fall poems here. I wrote this one about 2 weeks ago before the clocks changed. And I worked 9:30 to 6:30, so I was always driving home at dusk. As dusk approaches in fading light, fall leaves have lost their luster. The sun has set, the darkness deepens, fall colors looking ruster. Tom, I wrote this at Winnie Kinney the other day. This is called Quackers. Diving ducks, but mallards don't. If they could, still they won't. Turn their tail up to the air. Kiss my, ask me about the geese and the swans. They all have different necks, so they never compete for the same food. This one's called The Chore. Flutter, flutter in the wind, evicted from your treetop view. The change of seasons, what a sick joke of Mother Nature. Sure, your colors are nice for 2 weeks, the vibrant colors, and then the scourge of man. You invade odds 10,000 to 1, and I with my loud noisemaker blow you back from my manicured green lawn. Only you return the next windy day in greater numbers. Repeat, 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 damn you leaves. And here's a winter one. This is called The Storm. One of many, none the same. If only warmer it would rain. Dusted branches outlined white. Snow is falling, winds are light. Kept on snowing through the night. 6 inches by morning, sunny and bright. Boughs bent but do not break under all the frosting's weight. Exhale breath, suspend in air. Temperature's dropping, it's cold out here. Animal signs, tracks in the snow. What kind and where'd they go? No man has gone before me, decision mine to make. A trail through the forest, a path I should create. The blue jay there to greet me, and the chickadee. A flash of red against the white, a cardinal in a tree. All is quiet, all is still. No escape, winter's chill.
Ooh, that's good.
That's all I got for today.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna read down. The title is Mom. Sometimes I lost the sunshine that used to be my shepherd in this world of calamities that robbed my maternal love. I keep wondering why you left me in this chaotic world, abandoned the society that can give me the ultimate rest. Mom, with what you smile in those golden days of cheap, expensive advices. I watched the bleakness of my life like Jesus washes sins, but I met a glimmer of hope, an angel whose rays washed my unhappiness and brought a wave of passion that reverberates my peace of tones of happiness. This next one is called Sometime in History. Sometime in history, I was a magnificent palace, but I'm gone. The wind blows, the tree hum, the air is invisible, yet it kills. A hurricane, a force that wipes and swipes and cleans. I was Everest, but I melted. I'm leveled in history. I'm wind. That's it. This is the last one I'm gonna read to share time. I wrote this yesterday. I was thinking about like what our forefathers would think about what's going on now. So the name of this is Posterity. Explosive thoughts that transcend time, arriving at the future remnants of current reality. Was this our promise or decay of missed opportunities of hope to rekindle our faith to the future generations? We lost our concerns by ignorance of clarity of the present, with hallucinations of desires, half human, half fantasy, illustrating our lives with pure lies that consumes our souls. Who are we to blame? Our forefathers or ourselves? We experience premonition that we vaguely dismiss because we are scared of the truth. We are the patrons of our own snowball, filled with irritations of ignorance. And yet we wonder who failed who. Can we still rewrite the timeline that wipes and swipes and cleans? I was Everest, but I melted. I'm leveled in history. I'm wind. Just that. This the last one I'm gonna read to share time. I wrote this yesterday. I was thinking about like what our forefathers would think about what's going on now. So the name of this is Posterity. Explosive thoughts that transcend time, arriving at the future remnants of current reality. Was this our promise or decay of missed opportunities of hope to rekindle our faith to the future generations? We lost our concerns by ignorance of clarity of the present, with hallucinations of desires, half human, half fantasy, illustrating our lives with pure lies that consumes our souls. Who are we to blame? Our forefathers or ourselves? We experience premonition that we vaguely dismiss because we are scared of the truth. We are the patrons of our own snowball, filled with irritations of ignorance. And yet we wonder who failed who. Can we still rewrite the timeline? Or have we failed or lost to our delusions and self-deceptions? Posterity.
There's something interesting at the moment. It's a kind of contest or fun thing to do at the moment, and that's writing a poem on every day in November. And so I've been trying to do this, and there are wildly different subjects, and I'm going to try on 3 different, and it'll get more humorous as we work our way through. But the first one is very serious. Are any of you people computer literate? Do you use computers? Hands up, anybody who uses a computer.
Doesn't mean I'm literate.
Microsoft is evil, not your friend. They say Microsoft is evil. They say Microsoft is bad. What Windows had enabled is usually for the better. It's now quite sad because I've turned into a fretter. That man Satya Nadella turns out to be a cad. Copilot is the final straw, an opportunity lost. Goodwill to all. What are to do? AI stops you thinking. Think you have a choice? Do you have an inkling? Oh no, you don't. You see, they lie. You find there is a cost. There is a friendly setting, like some of you may know this, called Select Your Default Browser. Does anybody know that? Okay. The setting is still there. It's a mean for you to choose. It used to be rock solid, and now you find it's a ruse. You think you chose Chrome, You didn't. It's a real wowzer. When out looking at an email, you find a link you want to see, and choosing it, you hope to be deep in the Google Chrome. You may not notice, but that's not where you roam. Copilot has flown you into a murky sea. You're just not where you want to be. What's worse, Copilot often strays. It sees the world in different ways. When you should see a birthday card, it isn't there. The picture you cannot see. It's just so unfair. It misdirects, cannot deliver, and you should find, this is just a silly line, sorry about this. It misdirects and cannot deliver, and should you find you want some liver, you might as well drown in a lake. What's it all about, for heaven's sake? The way to keep in sync is to right-click, copy the link into Chrome, where you can see what you want to see. A quick click has turned into a 10-second job that annoyingly dramatically makes your spirits sink lower. Microsoft wants Copilot and Edge to be the winner. Please tell us how, sir. In these dirty depths they lie forsooth. They really cannot tell the truth. Please don't lie and be uncouth. Please give us back our default browser. And one of them, topics was, you look at a different topic every day. One was write a poem from some person who's in a book from their point of view. How is Alice doing? I'm liking this adventure, but it's really too confusing. I just don't know what's going to happen next. The mirror isn't working right. Is it the way I'm using it? Kitty, what will happen now? I'm getting very vexed. I'm liking the adventure. The books don't look the same. The words are going the wrong way around. Kitty, do you think it's a game that I'm playing? I really can't say. I'm feeling pretty happy now, and I can, in a passage, peep and see the drawing room door should open more. Shall I be really brave and leap? Is there down there another door? Oh wow, the mist is coming fast. The glass is softening into gauze. Will I be able to get through at last? Kitty, look out for your paws. I'm slightly worried about the old room. This one's as hot as the beehive. The clocks are smiling out of the gloom, and the pictures seem alive. Kitty, they don't keep this unsullied, and the strangest things do lurk. Now I'm getting worried. They might ask me to work. There's one thing I should confess. The Red King and the Queen don't see that I really can't play chess. Oh, please, please don't ask me. Invisible is where I should be at. The castles have got it wrong. The pawn is screaming, it's rather fat. Perhaps I'll sing a song. The first one is very subtle, so it's not a pretty sight. The blood is in my head, there's not much in my arms. I've got my nightshirt on, and you can see my charms. Will the ink run uphill? I don't think it can. The ink should be controlled and be a better man. I'm very old, you see, I cannot stand for long. I didn't know what else to do. Do you think I'm wrong?
There are some other readers, but they're getting their materials, so I'm going to be the fill-in. And I have, it's hard to believe, next month will be the complete full year of 3 years I've been doing haiku a day.
Wow.
In addition to trying to write other poetry. So I'm going to give you a few recent samples. Remember the crazy winds we had in the early, like 50-mile-an-hour gust? So this is the 575. Those are the stanzas, the lines, syllables, 17 syllables. Strong winds with high gust, leaves, sticks, and branches scattered, November's deep breaths. Ear covers needed, high winds whip and toss, trail trees, sashaying into gust. famous lake here, Canosa Lake. Canosa Shore Walk, snails, shells, rocks, mud, and deer prints. Lake life in shallows. And up and down wet trails, slipping, sliding in deep woods, feeling Sunday's grace. Brisk and cold lake walk, sole heron stands sentry at shore, patience on display. And now I'm going to read one I've read before, but I really like it. It's a little bit of a prose poem, a little bit of a haiku at the same time. It's called Canosa. Another oak limb falls onto the trail. I give it a kick with my left foot and watch it roll to the water's edge. Canosa, lake of the pickerel, to the Algonquin tribes who camped here hundreds of years before the colonists. Wind blows spitting rain into my face as I tighten parka strings, seeking to stay dry. Wet day, rain and mist, damp with cold gray all around, lingering like grief. Canosa is the city's jewel in the middle of 700 acres of Weenie Park, very beautiful in the native language. Winter near its end, but like early spring it's been too dry, lake level so low that water restrictions now in 4th month. Ripples on Canosa, lake water slowly rising, blessings from above. Reaching remnants of halfway shelter, I pause and turn as heavier rains fall, put up and head down for a 2.5-mile hike to Route's End. Soggy mess all day, ground soaks up needed moisture, feelings slosh about. Okay. All right, I have one more I'm going to read. This is an amazing poem by former Poet Laureate, and you all know her, Joy Harjo, H-A-R-J-O.
Yeah.
This is entitled An American Sunrise. She was U.S. Poet Laureate 2019 to 2022. First Native American to hold that post. She lives in New Mexico. She's a member of the Muskogee Nation. She's published 10 books, 3 children's books. And I read this, it's about America, but it's about all of us, really. When I grew up, I really didn't know that much about Native Americans. Very little. I grew up in a very small inlet town, really all white. And then this one Iroquois family moved in. And of course they really stand out in such a small community. And as I grew older, I learned a lot more. I traveled a great deal. And in history, you don't learn in history. You learn it by experience it and by being in groups with people, and I was able to do that. So this poem, to me, has a lot of power. An American Sunrise, published in 2017. We were running out of breath as we ran out to meet ourselves. We were surfacing the edge of our ancestors' flights and ready to strike. It was difficult to lose days in the Indian bar if you were straight. Easy if you played pool and drank to remember, to forget. We made plans to be professional and did. And some of us could sing, so we drummed a fire-lit pathway up to those starry stars. Sin was invented by the Christians, as was the devil, we sang. We were the heathens, but needed to be saved from them. Thin chance. We knew we were all related in this story. A little gin will clarify the dark and make us all feel like dancing. We had something to do with the origins of the blues and jazz. I argued with the Pueblo as I filled the jukebox with dimes in June. 40 years later, we still want justice. We are still American. We know the rumors of our demise. We spit them out. They die soon.
Joy has some good friends at Merrimack College.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
She's incredible.
She's wonderful.
Any other readers?
Yeah, well, we could,
Yeah, us a return, I don't know.
Yes.
So, I think it'd be appropriate to hear from our Poet Laureate. You want to read? Answer this.
Once I'm able to stand up, I realize how much I cannot stand. Before I began, Tom was good enough to go by our brand new park that we have here in Haverhill. We've been working for this for a number of years now. It's called First Nations Park. It's at the corner of the Coho Bridge on the right-hand side where Skateland used to be. And it has a dog park, big dog park, little dog park. It has a playground for children, it has swings and so forth. There's also a boardwalk that goes down by the river. It's approximately the length of a football field, so you can walk along the river. And the new sign that we put out there is called First Nations Park. This is a picture of it. And I'm going to read the legend that we created for the bards. This park marks the head at high tide of the Merrimack River, a natural wildlife heritage site where the endangered short-nosed sturgeon returns every spring to spawn. For thousands of years, indigenous peoples camped on these banks and fished these waters, followed by pre-colonial settlers and future Americans. This park honors the enduring legacy and cultural heritage of all of these First Nations. One of the things that we do know is that the indigenous peoples, the First Nations, came to the river every spring in April, May, and June to fish for sturgeon, salmon, and alewife. And the reason they came here is because this is where the fish came to spawn every year. And the reason they come upstream to spawn right here is because this Haverhill is where the fresh water of the Merrimack begins to change into the salt water of the sea. And the baby fish have to be born in fresh water. They spend the first 6 months of their lives in fresh water, hiding in the silt and rocks in the bottom of the river. And then they start migrating downstream, where they become accustomed to salt water. And then they spend the next 6 years of their lives in the harbor at Newburyport, where they grow into adults. And when the females reach the age of 10, they're able to spawn. The males reach the age of maturity around 12. And they often swim out to sea. And every female spawns every 2.5 to 3 years. And the males apparently are game for anything older. sort of like a species thing. Here's a picture of the sign in the park itself. If you get a chance, go down to the park and take a look at it. We're going to have a celebration there in April of next year, and we'll have his customary among our people, First Nations people, that when we create a reserve or a place where we dedicate to indigenous heritage and culture, that place must be purified. It's a purification ceremony because you want to remove all the evil spirits and you want to return the land to Mother Earth whole and free. So we're going to have that ceremony there in April, and I hope that you all can attend. And I've written a poem for that occasion, which I'm not going to read tonight. It's talking about the titles of the poem. I like to give everything a working title, so the title of that poem currently is Lights Along the Merrimack, which is kind of like a little thing. A few weeks ago, there was a ceremony at Kennedy State here in Boston, and Biden, former President Biden, was given an award, and it reminded me of so much that Ted Kennedy did. When Ted Kennedy passed away, I read the eulogy here in April. We had the vigil of the eulogy, and I read it. We've forgotten so much about what Ted did, and the problem that we're facing emergency now. And I heard this in the news just today. They're going to dismantle the Department of Education, which means dismantling the Department of Education takes away so much that we in Massachusetts have taken for granted in that platform for many, many years.
Raise your voices, those among us who came as immigrants and stayed because of them. Faces from nations not always the same. Ted song, a new American anthem, begun in 1965. Raise your voices, those of us who survived, those the war on cancer has kept alive. Ted's law would never allow hope to dim. Therapy a goal, but a cure in the end. Never knowing what was growing in him until bitter irony called his name. Raise your voices, those among us who play because of the Title IX's equality. Athletics for women have shown the way at colleges and university. A requirement Ted made compelling law. Raise your voices, those among us who saw its strength, its purpose, the resolute jaw, battling for racial diversity to win Martin Luther King's holiday while holding forth for commensality in its affirmative action today. Raise your voices, those among us who cast election ballots when we turn 18. This by the man who got student loans passed, who devoted his life to others' dream. Workplace safety, mine safety, fair wages, the right to organize, minimum wages. Raise your voices, those of us of ages, to recall his fight against Jesse's schemes, but helping hounds downstairs before he passed. Ted turned his ires on apartheid extremes, so he got vetoed sanctions repassed. Raise your voices, those among us who take time off for family medical leave, or rely on CHIP for our children's sake, our WIC for our nutrition to receive, our care for AIDS medication, our COBRA after job termination, for the disabled remediation. Ted's song to us was for us to achieve. Raise your voices, all of us who partake in honoring him who chose to believe that the value of life is ours to make. I think we've all forgotten all the things that Ted Kennedy did for us. Do you remember his fight for cancer and women's equality? It's a tragedy that people forget because of him. Sometime around 1700, Hieronymus Bosch picked up a quilt pen and he dipped it in a little container that contained the distillate bark of a black oak tree and some gum arabia in it. It's a kind of ink, and he drew a picture on a piece of parchment. It's an oak tree and there's woods behind it in the field. And in the oak tree he put 2 owls and 3 raven-like birds, all of which had pointed ears. And in the woods and fields behind the tree, he put little, possibly butterflies or something. And he entitled the work that he created, "The woods have ears and the fields have eyes." If you stare at the picture long enough, you see a landscape. And as you stare at the picture, suddenly you begin to realize that those eyes, those moths in the woods are really eyes. There's 4 of them here and 2 of them here. They're looking at you. You are looking at the artwork, but the artwork is looking back at you. And you have the ears in the trees, so the artwork is waiting for you to say something. The art is listening to you. And when I write a poem, I think about Hieronymus Bosch, because I think the poems I write, I'm giving their own life to, I told Karen this the other day. Every poem that I write has a life of its own. When W.B. Yeats passed away, Ashbery wrote an ode to Yeats, and there's a line in there and a thought in there where he said, "Never tell the poem the poet is dead." Never tell the poem the poet is dead, because the poem lives on.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I decided that I would let a poem write me. Now I'm going to put the words on paper, but the words I put on paper are really poem's words. At least I think they are. I'm not really sure. But this is a poem that's going to listen to me, and I'm going to read it to you. And perhaps you might get the impression that the poet and myself are one and the same. And perhaps we are. I read a version of this several months ago, and I asked you about editing kind of poems. And of course, I edit constantly. And of course, you know, my favorite line about editing is one of our most famous writers said, he spent all morning taking out a comma and all afternoon putting it back in.
That's true.
This poem is called The Bond. I saw a bird fly from a tree, engaging the earth, the sky, and me. We saw the day dim sleepily, drifting to night where dreams are drawn, and in that dream I sensed a bond, becoming us from dusk to dawn. I was a spring, seeking the sea from creek to stream, walking free. Nursed a river conveying me from where mountaintops through clouds soar, down to forest and valley floor, cuddling flowers, marsh reeds and shore. I splashed with friends swimming the bay as the waves carried us away, playing tag in the foam and spray. We scaled rainbows into the clouds, dodging raindrops with wispy shrouds, teasing moonbeams and star-filled crowds. Safety lay in the day's trust of night, to rebirth and obey to light, to honor the bond of dawn's light that I once more would wake as me. I see a bird fly from a tree, and I recall a memory.
And so what do we have coming up? My name's Jeremy.
Hello, Jerry.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. My name is Jeremy. Thank you for having me this evening. I wasn't expecting to read a poem tonight. My wife in the back basically dragged me to this thing. So, excuse me. This is a poem I wrote, I think I was an undergrad in college. In my mind's, I read it a few minutes ago. In my mind's recollection, it was much better than it is in reality. So, but it's a Christmas poem, since it's Christmas. So the name of the poem is Christmas Spirit, and I'll begin. Amidst the joyous Christmas mirth, as we celebrate our Savior's birth, our absent presence from underneath the tree, 'twas the hollowest sight you did ever see. Gone were cards of old Aunt Tara, or was that old hag's name actually Sarah? No lifeless sayings and expressions trite, stockings fell empty on Christmas Eve night. But I offer this from the heart instead, good drink in lieu of substantial bread. I'll go to the packy and pick up a jack, off in a flash. I swear I'll be right back. Although all around the tree is bare, just pick your poison, for I have not a care. For how sad it is that Santa has coasted, while drunken men relax and get toasted. And as I throw back more and more booze, I ponder how little I have in life to lose. All night we carouse and get shit-faced,
kiss our sorrows and lay them to waste. And as we drown in good Christmas cheer, revel in survival of yet another year, Ma, you fell and broke your hip, and Pops, as always, you're still full of lip. As for me, I'm still pretty broke, still living at home with these old folk. As we laugh and still befuddle among absent gifts not worth a puddle. But as I sit and look around, see you work together, all safe and sound. For more than that I could not ask, in this light which I shall forever bask. To be with those that I love, no Christmas gift is above. In our house, made of sticks, what else can you expect from us bunch of fucking pricks?
Beautifully done.
Hi everyone, my name is Jill. I'm Jeremy's wife. I'm the one who dragged him here. And I didn't know I'll be in front of you guys tonight as well. So I'm not good in speaking, and I'm basically not from here. I'm from the Philippines, and I'm an immigrant. And I actually wrote something for my husband, and he's sworn in as a federal court attorney yesterday. So I wrote this while waiting for him, preparing at the Mokley courthouse. So I hope I'll be able to give justice to this one. All right, so the immigrant lawyer and the immigrant love that stood beside him. I fell in love with a man who fights for immigrants' futures with nothing but his voice, his heart, and the kind of courage that comes from knowing what struggles taste like. An immigration lawyer, my husband, the man who turns paperwork into hope, who turns fear into footing, who helps families believe that they have the right to stay, a right to rise, and a right to dream. And maybe the world sees his title, his truth, that calm, collected confidence he wears in court, but I see this mind behind all that. The late nights, the tired eyes, the way he still softens when he walks through our door and looks at me like I'm the safest place he's ever known. I love him not for just what he does, but for who he is. When the world isn't looking. The way he leans into me when the day has been heavy, the way he laughs, like he forgot he was allowed to. The way he tells me I'm the reason he keeps going on the days he almost didn't. We are built from grit and tenderness, two souls that grew side by side, choosing each other even when life tried to pull us in different directions. I stood by him through papers, hearings, sleepless nights. He stood by me through fear, doubt, storms I thought would break me. Together, we're making a life that just didn't survive, and I feel it stands tall. Thank you.
Wow.
What a wonderful short poetry.
I'm short of one now.
Okay, this is sort of concludes our fall series. We'll be back again next spring. I want to remind you, we are having a publication. If you pick one of these up, I'll summarize the, we're doing a, it's a 10 wheel, it's really a 10, anthology, and it's open to all Merrimack Valley poets. We're going to give priority to people who've read our series over the past 10 years. Submit up to 3 poems, up to 5 pages in total, 1 document, unpublished work only, No identifying information on your submissions. All styles and formats welcome. No fee to submit. And submit by January 15, 2026. And we're hoping, actually I should say, we will have it ready by April 15th, which happens to be a Wednesday. And you'll all get a copy, especially if you submit one. And we'll see what we get, what comes in.
And
So if there anyone,
And priority goes, I just want to highlight, priority goes to anybody who's ever read at a River Bards Poetry Night, which includes everybody tonight and everybody
Yes, of course.
tomorrow, the next one. So,
Yeah.
yeah, please submit.